Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome back to Higurashi. So we had a spooky torture room last time? It looked like a torture room. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a torture room. Definitely a torture room. And also, I think Neon and the others figured out that I wasn't actually watching the event. So we're probably going to die again, I'm just guessing. I let out a great big yawn. It was like morning had arrived just as I got to sleep. As Mom set up breakfast, she gave me a pained smile.
どうしたの、ケイチ。昨夜は何時に寝たの？
12時には寝たつもりだけど、昨日はなんだか寝つきが悪くてさ。
お祭りではしゃぎすぎて興奮して眠れなかったんでしょ。
You could say that, Mom.
違うよ。
Crunch, crunch. I crunched down hard on the pickled radish to hide my embarrassment. After all that happened yesterday, in our discussion about the sound Shion heard, oh right, yeah, the spooky sound, that banging noise, like a child far away, jumping up and down on a wooden floor. The story wouldn't get out of my head, so I had trouble sleeping. It was a long night, and I kept jumping at the slight sounds of faraway tree branches, which should have been either unhearable or too insignificant to notice. When I woke up to the morning sunlight and birds chirping, it made me feel pretty ashamed about it, but I felt far from refreshed this morning.
Keiichi-kun,
Ohayo!
あれ？ケイチ君目が真っ赤だよ。どうしてだろう。
I wasn't crying. Bye.
おはよう。どういうわけか寝つきが悪くてな。そんなわけで今日は寝不足だ。
昨日のお祭りは楽しかったね。レナも興奮がなかなか冷めなくて、なかなか寝れなかったんだよ。
In Rena's case, her excitement seemed to still be wide awake.
こういうお祭りが何度もあればいいのにね。
So what, so people die more?
またみんなで大盛り上がり。はう。
Of course.
まあ、そうだな。
Not because we want to kill more people, or anything. Rena talking about the festival yesterday made me remember everything I had nearly forgotten from last night. The inside of the ritual storehouse that had been so utterly different from the relaxed, bright, everyday life of Hinamizawa. All those stories that Takano-san told me too. The mysterious incidents that occurred on the day of the Watanagashi festival every year. The strange incidents where one person would die and one would disappear. The old stories of Hinamizawa, flickering like a candle behind them. You know, now I'm kind of wondering, why did Shion take us up there in the first place? Surely she knew that they were up there, but I wonder why. The old stories of Hinamizawa flickering like a candle behind them. The numerous and horrifying traditions of Onigafuchi village. The villagers with demon blood in them. That terrible cannibalistic feasts. The poor sacrifices kidnapped from human villages, victims of the Onikakushi. To quell the rage of Oyashiro-sama, the ritual involving living sacrifices. There were also many, many others. There were so many stories that just remembering them put me in a foul mood. Most of them weren't fiction either. They were true. We didn't need to fear them just because they were real, though. Since it all happened so long ago. Such a very long time ago.
みーちゃん遅いね。
Before I realized it, we'd arrived at the place where we'd usually meet with Mion. Probably because I was so lost in thought.
この時間になっても来ないときは 先に行ってもいい約束になってるんだけど、どうする？
Mion being late wasn't too rare an occurrence, but today she was unusually late. She's dead. She got killed. A few of the ominous tales from the night before came back to life in my mind again. Who would die this year? And who would disappear? It couldn't have been... Mion?
どうするかな、ケイチ君。
She's dead. I can't wait any longer.
もう行かないと遅刻になっちゃうかも。
来るよ。学校休むって電話があったわけじゃないだろ。もう5分待ってみようぜ。な。
Rina looked at her watch and seemed a little worried, but then she nodded with a satisfied smile. If we had to wait 5 minutes, we'd have to run as fast as we could to school, or we'd be late. As soon as I thought that, we spotted Mion, running towards us out of breath.
兄ちゃん、遅い遅い。
Is she undead? Did you kill her?
待っててくれたわけ？先に行っちゃってもよかったのに。
Mion was breathing heavily, and her face was all red. Her house was right down this road, wasn't it? It wasn't far enough away for her to end up like this, was it?
みーちゃん、
Quickly running, trying to cover up the bodies.
悪くない？
A little bit panicked. Huh? Now that she mentioned it, Rina pushed Mion's bangs away and put her hand to her forehead.
レナの手、冷たいな。
みーちゃん、ちょっとだけど熱あるよ。
She's got the demon blood in her.
そんな大したことないよ。半日もすればケロッと治っちゃうって。
本当に大丈夫かよ。あんまり無理するなよ。
あれ、ケイちゃん、気遣ってくれるの？嬉しいな。
That answer wasn't like Mion at all. She must have had it pretty bad.
無理しない方がいいと思うな。先生にはお休みだって伝えとくよ。
大丈夫大丈夫。風邪薬も飲んだし、すぐに効いてくると思うから。
Mion forced an energetic expression onto her face and flexed her biceps at us.
じゃあ行こうか。くれぐれも無理するなよ。って言いながら時間。
走らないと間に合わない。
スリリングな朝になっちゃったね。鈍った体にはちょうどいいカツかもね。
What? Cause you murdered someone?
走ろ。
The thrill of the kill. Hey, wait, you're sick. Don't go overboard. Mion began to run vigorously anyway.
みーちゃんだって最上級生だよ。自分の体のことは自分で一番よくわかってるよ。
I decided to leave it at that and assume she was fine.
よし、俺たちも行こうぜ。
We began to run after Mion. The school looked the same as always. The hours passed listlessly, and my lack of sleep took its toll. If there was a sport where people competed by sleeping, I'd be world champion right now. The trick to overcoming this sort of dangerous situation is to hold your pencil upside down. Why, you ask? So you don't draw strange patterns all over your notes while half asleep. If you were holding your pencil upside down, that wouldn't happen, would it? Bump, bump, bump. Bump, bump, bump. Something that felt like an eraser hit me in the head 6 times.
あいてててて、何しやがるサトコ。
私は何もしてないでございますわ。
お前以外にこんないたずら誰がするんだよ。あ、消しゴムじゃなくてチョークか。え？
Is it the teacher? Oh. Behind me, a female outlaw might hold razors, or like a female outlaw might hold razors, was the teacher's shadow, holding 3 pieces of chalk in each hand. Rumble, rumble, rumble.
前原くん、お顔を洗ってらっしゃい。
はい。喜んで。
That alone was enough to wake me up. But I flew out into the hallway as if shoved out by the pressure exuded by the teacher's sheer power. She's got the angry face. If I was gonna wash my face anyway, then I would rather use the sinks out front rather than the ones in the dark restroom. Something's gonna happen here, I know it. Why would you bother to mention this unless it was important? Thinking that, I left the hallway and went to the entrance. The sunlight was strong. So strong, you wouldn't think it was June. I turned the faucet, and with a lifeless bubbling noise, lukewarm water came pouring out. If I let it run for a few moments, would it get cold? I looked at it absent-mindedly for a little while.
やっぱケイちゃんはこっちの流しを選んだか。
I'm gonna have an important talk here about watching your friends dance at the once-a-year festival
表の方が気分いい
and
もん
not
ね。
sneaking out.
ミオンか。授業サボるなよな。
I stuck my hands into the water to find it had gotten so cold that it seemed strange it had ever been warm. I scooped it up and splashed it against my face. Once I was done, I moved out of the way and Mion did the same.
ミオン、具合の方はいいのかよ。眠いのは寝不足じゃなくて、薬の副作用なんだろ？
実は内緒なんだけど、昨日はお祭りの後で親族の宴会に巻き込まれちゃってさ。それで、実はエンドレスに突入しちゃって。
Things dragged on? So you mean to say you didn't have a cold or anything?
つまり、本当に寝不足なのかよ。徹夜明けならそうと言え、紛らわしい。
勘弁してよ。体調が悪いのは本当なんだからさ。
I suppose she'd be feeling lousy either way. Still, you treat colds and sleep deprivation in completely different ways.
心配して損したぞ。たく、ミオンらしいというかなんというか。
Mion scratched her head, a little embarrassed. She didn't seem to be feeling well, but now that I knew the cause, I didn't need to worry too much. It would go away with a little rest after all.
ああ、でも頭がガンガンするのは本当。だからさ、さっき先生に早退していいって言われちゃった。
あ、ずるいやつ。じゃあミオンはもうこれで帰りなのか？
Now that I looked again, Mion had her bag with her. She must have been on her way home.
申し訳ないけどね。今日は家でおとなしく寝させてもらうわ。部活できなくて申し訳ないね。今日はケイちゃんがリーダーってことでやってくれない？
多分無理だと思うぜ。俺たち部活は全員揃った時しかやらないっていう暗黙の了解があるだろう。ミオンがバイトに行ってる時はいつもそのままお開きだったんだぜ。
Mion laughed wryly, saying we didn't need to worry about her. No matter how much fun we have, though, I think that feeling guilty about friends who can't share in it is the sign of a really fantastic friendship. In that sense, the club Mion has created is a wonderful thing. As I thought about it, the moisture on my washed face dried up. I suppose we were talking too much. If I didn't get back to the classroom soon, I could get in trouble.
じゃあな、俺は教室に戻るぜ。帰りは気をつけろよ。ふらふらして側溝や用水路に落ちるなよ。
I left it at that, turned around, and started heading back to the classroom.
あ、そうそう、ケイちゃん。
Watch your back, kid. Mion stopped me, and I turned my head to listen.
なんだ？
変なこと聞くけど、深く考えないで答えてね。
そりゃ内容によりけりだな。
昨日の渡永さんはさ、
Yep.
富武さんと高野さんに会わなかった？
Watch your back, kid. I suddenly tensed up.
富武さんと高
Yeah,
野さん
don't
は
worry
仲
about
いい
it.
ね。
Don't think too hard on it.
ほらケイちゃん、お祭りの前日準備の時、シオンと一緒に4人でお話ししてたでしょ。
if I could, I wanted to forget about sneaking into the storehouse that night as soon as possible. So hearing the names of the people I was with at the time really got to me. Besides that, though, why was Mion asking me a question like that? I ended up staring at her, unable to answer immediately. Was she asking to see if I had seen them or not? Or was she asking the question knowing I had? I couldn't tell.
さあ、どうかな。
maybe.
あったような、合わなかったような。
My vague response was clearly not to Mion's liking. What answer was she expecting from me? There was no way for me to know.
そう。
So.
じゃあもう一つ質問ね。
Oh no, the questions
同
that keep
じく
coming.
ゆうべ、シオンに会わなかった？
My heart leapt into my throat again. The tiny needles buried underneath Mion's words pricked into me.
それ、昨日も聞いたよな。俺、会ったかどうかわからないって答えたと思ったぜ。
ん？そうだっけ？また改めて聞いたら違う答えが返ってくるかな。
Oh, dang it! I spilled the water again. I was laughing and now I got water all over my desk. Dang it. Hold on. And this is why I only drink water while recording. Because I have a habit of spilling water, apparently. Anyway, back to spooky Mion. I suddenly noticed something in Mion's eyes. Something indescribable. Tomitake-san and Takano-san. Shion too. She was asking me about them. There was no doubt about it. Last night, the four of us snuck into the ritual storehouse. She knew everything. So what? There's not really a curse anyway. That's right. Even Shion and Takano-san said yesterday during the festival that there was no curse. And that, rather than a curse, it was the doing of the villagers. My blood curdled. Mion was, almost without a doubt, aware that we snuck into the storehouse. It was nothing strange. I screwed up bad flipping on the light switch last night. If Mion had been searching for me, it was simple to imagine that she had seen that momentary light and come to find out what was going on.
本当に会ってないんだね。
You can stop with the eye thing, Mion.
どうして会ったかどうかをそんなに気にするんだよ。
Jelly?
大したことじゃないの。富武さんと高野さんと悪く言ってる人たちがいるの。何が悪いんだかはよく聞いてないんだけどね。
Unpleasant sweat dripped down my arms, and the sound of it hanging from my fingertips was so annoyingly loud.
私、ケイちゃんが悪いことをする
Of
なんて
course,
信じ
he
てない。
never does anything bad.
でも、ちょっとだけ聞いてみたかったから聞いてみたの。不愉快な思いをさせてごめんね。
You're still making me uncomfortable with those eyes. I found myself unable to reply. My reaction must have made it obvious what the truth was. And yet, I couldn't explain it myself.
ケイちゃんは、富武さんとも高野さんとも、そしてシオンとも一緒じゃなかった。そうだよね。
Yeah. I finally wrung out an answer between ragged breaths. Mion's expression softened a little.
よかった。私言っとくね。ケイちゃんは何にも悪いことには加わってないって。みんなにちゃんと言っておくからね。
Yes, you will. Please do. Tell them I wasn't doing anything bad. To everyone, make sure... Everyone... Who is everyone?
じゃあね。明日は元気になってるから。バイバイ。
Bye-bye. Wait, Mion. What do you mean by everyone? Just then, a freezing cold hand touched the back of my neck.
こう
Yep, I thought that was gonna happen.
遅いですよ前原くん。顔を洗うだけなのに時間がかかりすぎです。
It was the teacher. I was talking so long, she came out to get me.
あ、すみません。
For taking. Talking? Both.
ついミオンとおしゃべりを。
I turned around, but Mion had crossed through the schoolyard without me realizing it, and was now standing at the gate.
さあ、お勉強に戻りますよ。早く早く。
The teacher was being insistent. We returned to the entrance. I looked back one more time, and Mion was nowhere in sight. It's getting spooky.
ケイチ、今日はずっと元気がないのです。昨日大はしゃぎしすぎたからに違いありませんわ。
迷子になって目を真っ赤にさせて半泣きしてたやつに言われたくねえ。
ゆうべのさとこちゃん、かわいかったよ。はう。
My friends did their best to try and cheer me up, but it didn't lighten my mood. Was it far worse than I thought? Had I really done something that terrible last night? These thoughts remained with me for the rest of the day.
じゃあね、ケイチくん。また明日ね。
By the time I realized it, I was in front of my own house.
みーちゃんも風邪だったみたいだけど、ひょっとしてケイチくんもなのかな
え、大丈夫だよ。こう見えても風邪で休んだことはないんだぜ。
でもみーちゃんもケイチくんも今日は具合が悪そうだし。
気にしてくれてありがとな。大丈夫。バカは風邪ひかないんだぜ。
Is that true? Rena smiled, then waved to me and left. Whew. With my shoulders bobbing up and down from breathing heavily, I entered the house. As soon as I got back in, Mom called out to me, "Hey, Keiichi, your friend's here!" Is that what's gonna happen?
ケイチ、悪いんだけど図書館に行って本を返してきてくれ。
Oh no. Something spooky's gonna happen on the way to the library. Why else would we know about this?
めんどくさいな。
I'm sick, Mom.
お父さんも母さんも今ね、ちょっと電話待ちをしてるところで家を開けられないの。返却期限も今日までだし、お願いできない？
Why were you so irresponsible, Mom? Sheesh. Did it have to do with Dad's job? Yeah, stupid Dad and his job really have, screwed us over more than once. No point in arguing if they bring that up.
仕方ないな。でも俺、図書館がどこにあるか知らないよ。
あら、知らないの？沖宮の駅前をちょっと進んで。
Just then, the phone rang. My parents' faces immediately turned grim. Mom snatched up the receiver.
もしもし、前原です。はい？はい、おります。
Oh no, it's Mion. It's spooky Mion. Then she thrust the receiver at my face.
ケイイチに電話よ。
It's for you. You better hurry up, punk.
早めに終わらせてね。
Exactly. I tried to ask who it was from, but asking the person on the phone directly would be faster.
もしもし。
Don't worry, Keiichi. The library's just past the station. What? Who are you? Click.
その時の妹の方です。
You can tell because of the upbeat and happy music that it's Shion.
こんにちは。今はお時間大丈夫ですか？
Do you know where the library is? It was Shion. The older sister shattered from an all-nighter, but the younger seemed fine.
シオンか。ミオンと同じで、今日は徹夜明けで寝込んでるんじゃないかと思ったぜ。
え？それじゃあおね、今日はずる休みですか？おねらしい。
She laughed warmly, but Mom glared at me, silently telling me to finish up.
ごめんな。 ちょっと親が電話待ちをしてるんで、そんなに長話はできないんだ。何の用だ？
お話ししたいことがあったんですけど、長電話が無理じゃ仕
Do you
方
want to
ない
meet
で
at
す。
the library? She sounded a little disappointed. What would Shion want to talk to me about? Now I was interested.
じゃあさ、会って話をしないか。ついでに図書館にも案内してもらえるとありがたい。
図書館って駅前の私立図書館
Yes,
です
the
か？
same one.
別にいいですよ。バイトのついでってことで。
じゃあいつもミオンと待ち合わせてる場所わかるか？園崎家の小道に分かれる分岐の。
あ、ケイちゃん言ってませんでしたっけ？私本家じゃなくて沖宮の家に住んでるんですよ。だから待ち合わせ場所は沖宮駅の改札前なんかにしてくれた方が嬉しいんですけど。
Main house? Living in Okinomiya? Now that she mentioned it, it always seemed like the Sonozaki sisters weren't communicating. Did they live in different houses? Also, now that she mentioned it, Rina said she'd never met the younger sister, despite going over to play sometimes.
じゃあ駅に集合な。すぐに行くよ。じゃあ。
I set the receiver down, and Mom immediately thrust a large pile of, so many, of library books in my face. 6 volumes of long-form mystery novels. Mom had her own hobbies. Very irresponsible mother. Come on, don't wait until the last day.
ケイチ、よろしくね。
They're gonna charge us 12 cents if we don't get these turned in today.
お夕飯までには帰るのよ。
じゃあ行ってくれよ。
I suppose I changed my clothes and grabbed my bike key. I climbed the stairs to my bedroom. Shion had been waiting for me already, so meeting up was a smooth process.
ミオンと違ってシオンは待ち合わせ時間を守るな。しみじみ。
おねんを標準にされるといろいろと困ります。
Shion seemed a little unsteady too. She was up all night with Mion, wasn't she?
お前も夕べは寝てないんだろ。隠しても無駄だぞ。で、学校を早退したに違いない。
残念でした。私はそもそも今日はずる休みしてますので。私、お姉より容量いいですから。
Hey, I don't think you can call playing hooky smarter.
じゃあ、先に用事を片付けます？時間もそんなにないですから。図書館へ行くんですよね。
ああ、頼むよ。お袋の借りてる本の返却期限が今日までらしいんで。図書館は遠いのか？
すぐ近くですよ。